year of the FIA World Touring Car Cup presented by Ascaro promised to be one of the most exciting touring car seasons ever, with sensational new talent and the return of some legends of the sport. Reigning champion Gabriele Tarquini is facing even greater challenge, trying to defend his title against perhaps the strongest field in history. Among them, and delighted to be back, three-time world champion and Rio. And one of his former teammates, Augusto Farfus, enjoyed his mandatory rating with another returning starter from Casper, Gabriele Tarquini and Suri stalwart Miller Nicholas. Chinese brand Lynk & Co. recruited four-time world champion of IMOLA, 17 world champion Ted Year to their ranks, along with Miller's young nephew Jan Erlache and Andy Rio, the lineup that boasts an incredible 8 world titles. After making his comeback in Suzuka last year, Thiago Monteiro was set for a full season. The Portuguese not Honda's only bullet in their armoury. Type R will be driven by talented Argentine pairing Nesta Girolami, close friend Esteban Guerrieri. The Sebastian Loeb Racing team doubled in size, with 2012 world champion Rob Huff joined by double world rallycross champion Johan Christopherson, and who developed the VW Golf TCR Benenoita and Morocco's Banani. The other German brand Audi had high hopes of race winners Jean-Charles Vernet, Gordon Shevin and Frederick Vernon, joined by Dutch Nicholas Langeveld. Different drivers included Tom Coronel and Lorena Hannes, and who's VWR fielding 2018 Soviet champion Silverstone, and Will Hedlund. The 2019 campaign, as usual, kicked off on the twisty and demanding street circuit of Marrakech in Morocco, a track that rewards good chassis balance and patience. Esteban Guerrieri claimed the first pole of the year, but the all-new Lynk & Co seemed to be the strongest cars on the Moroccan track. The Argentine held off all comers at the start, staying in front to claim the first win of the season just ahead of Ted Yerk's Lynk & Co. And that's the way they stayed. The Argentine racing on to his first win of the season. Yerk in his wheel transformed by the Audi of Jean-Charles Vernet. First blood to Esteban Guerrieri and the Munich Motorsport Honda. Cue delighted Argentine celebrations for he and teammate Nesta Girolami, who finished fourth. But a big step forward, Lynk & Co on the podium in their first ever race. And they were only denied victory in race 2 by Gabriele Tarquini, the title holder, claiming his first win of the year ahead of Jean-Charles Vernet. Jan Erlache joining them on the podium. It all came good in race 2, despite Erlache's early crash and Ivan Muller retiring from the lead, which handed the advantage to Ted Björk, who made no mistakes, claiming the first historic win for Lynk & Co.
It's a little bit unreal to be winning here on the first time we're on with the car. It's fantastic.
Local hero Mehdi Banani and all his Volkswagen teammates struggled. Not one of them even finished in the top 10 all weekend.
I think that when we start April in Marrakech, I was even my side very surprised about our piece. We had no piece at all. From the start, we know that it's like a start. You know, when you make a bad start, you know that the race will be a disaster, and it's exactly like this way it was going for my side.
The second race weekend was at a championship favourite, the Hungaroring, just outside of the capital city, Budapest. Volkswagen's woes continued, with the Golfs again struggling, using an engine management system scheduled to be introduced for the 2020 season. Honda enjoyed a fantastic weekend, Nesta Girolami in particular. After grabbing the pole for race 1, the Argentine, who'd last raced in the series for Volvo in 2017, won the first encounter in style, ahead of Muller's Lynk & Co and his Honda teammate Esteban Guerrieri. Webber celebrated his successful return to the world stage. And he fare even better in race 2. From 6th on the grid, he gambled on slicks despite the clouds, took the lead at the end of the first lap to head to a second win in a row. He vaulted to the top of the standings, proving that he lost nothing in pace or determination since being dropped by Cyan Racing before the end of 2017.
We were fighting quite a lot to get this opportunity in WTCR. I was waiting to the revanche, to be honest, because in 2017 I didn't have the proper opportunity to show my personality and my driving conditions. So now I think we are in a good position to fight for the championship, and it just felt amazing.
Local hero Norbert Michaelis was on pole for race 3, but he was jumped at the start by Guerrieri and his own teammate Gabriele Tarquini. The Argentine was sidelined by mechanical failure, but the Italian held on to claim his second win of the year, ahead of Michaelis and Jan Erlache, the Frenchman's second podium. He'd already retired from 3 of the 36 races though.
It's not easy because you have the fact that you see your teammates and the others taking some advantage during the beginning of the season, and you miss some important points that at the level of the championship, missing a point like this, it's really difficult to catch it back. But then I was not really worried because my pace was good. I mean, it's not like I was struggling to get into the top 10 and then you say, oh, that will be tough for the rest of the year. My pace was good. We were there, but we were a little bit unlucky.
The venue for the third race weekend of the season was the Slovakiaring. The circuit, close to the Slovak capital Bratislava, hosted a historic double-discipline weekend. The WTCR races sharing the circuit with their two-wheeled counterparts, the riders of the FIM Endurance World Championship. This double-header weekend saw a lot of changes in the pecking order. Race 1 started in wet conditions. Slithering through the murk came Fredrik Vervisch, the first win of the season for himself, the Come2You team and Audi. A welcome upturn for the German marque, which despite claiming 3 podiums, had struggled from the start of the year.
We were stuck, we were already 100%. We did the best we could have done all year long. It's just we reached just 100% of our package, and other guys had a little bit more margin. I mean, Lynk & Co arrived with a brand new car, so of course they had more potential and they improved it race after race. But and yeah, the new ECU also didn't help us. Our car was pretty quick on the straight last year. We lost all the gains this year because of the new regulation of the ECU, and then that also didn't help us.
Indeed, Vervisch's win was to be the only one for Audi in a tough 2019 campaign. Not so fast in Slovakia, their successes resulting in performance-adjusting balances coming into effect. The Argentine pair of Munich Motorsport Honda drivers nevertheless racked up the points, using the reverse grid of race 2 perfectly to score their first 1-2 result of the season, as they started to ease ahead in the championship points race. Alfa Romeo almost achieved the same result in race 3. Chinese driver Martin Quia used a perfect start to grab a lead he would never surrender, while teammate Kevin Chacon climbed to his second podium in a row. What a weekend for the Italian brand, which in 3 races had leapt from 19 to 109 points. On the driver's side, with his 3rd podium of the year, Norbert Michaelis continued to climb up the order. But after 3 race weekends, Munich Motorsport was the dominant force, leading the team's title race, and the drivers 1-2 in their championship standings.
The atmosphere in the team is perfect. Being working with Esteban make the things easier. We know each other since very young, so now working together is something that we really aim to. And yeah, we are doing quite well. I think the beginning of the year was the perfect way to start the season, and then we get some bad luck, but things can happen. But yeah, I think I adapt myself quite quick, and I felt comfortable with the team at that time.
Zandvoort on the North Sea coast of the Netherlands will be the venue of the Dutch Formula 1 Grand Prix from 2020. is also the host for the fourth round of the 2019 WTCR season. As a teaser for the Formula One fans, this old-school track hosted an amazing show, featuring hometown hero Max Verstappen, who came to thrill the partisan local crowd with the entire Red Bull Formula One team, his teammate Pierre Gasly. FIA President Jean Todt was also on the grid in Zandvoort.
It's great, but you see, even without Formula One, it's a big enthusiasm for WTCR with more than 50,000 spectators, a lot of action, a lot of passion. So very happy to be here. I think what is good is very close competition, a lot of team, a lot of manufacturers involved, young drivers, older drivers. So it's a good combination.
That combination of youth and experience is nowhere stronger than Monaco. Despite good pace, Chinese cars haven't scored as many points as they'd hoped. But the Dutch round would restore that balance. First with a 1-2 in race 1, so Björk claiming win number 2 ahead of teammate Ivan Muller. Once again, Esteban Guerrieri made best use of the reverse gear in race 2 to limit the damage and score 5 World Championship points, aided by a huge mistake. It was win number 2 for Guerrieri, chased across the line by the resurgent Volkswagens, Ben Leuchter and Johan Christophersen. Race 3 displayed how tricky it is to balance teammates. Despite the gentleman's agreement within Lincoln Code that the driver who made the best start when they shared the front row should be allowed to lead, Jan Erlich and Ted Björk battled from the off. The Swede held off his teammate until he was asked to surrender the position. Then, 3 laps later,
Okay, Jan, we've been asked to swap back on the next lap because the opinion here is you pulled across too early. Talk to me on the lap, that's what we've been asked. You think that? I have the weakest engine of everybody. Of course, if we do a drag race, I lose. I have the weakest engine of everybody. I'm already penalized, I care by this. You should think about that. It's the second time now this season I'm because of the engine.
You know, when you are in a race, in a lead, you know, it's a World Cup race, you know, so you are in the lead and it was almost done for me. I was with my teammate behind me, protecting. It was an easy race to go. And they give me a call again to leave him the position and the win. And I was of course upset, like everybody can be, especially at this stage of the season. It was not my way of thinking in the car, in the race at that moment, that's for sure. But at the end, they make the right call, even if I was not agree with it.
a third win for Björk moved the Swedes up to second in the points.
One thing that helped me a little bit to forget this is Christian came to my car and he just put the hand on the shoulder and he told me, "Don't worry, your turn will come." So that was enough. At the end, I did my job properly. I did everything I could. My job was complete, and the rest it's not according to me.
Despite the wrangling, Sign Racing was now second in both teams and drivers' standings. For the fifth year in a row, Germany's Green Hell will provide a huge test for the drivers. The fifth race weekend being held on the 25 kilometres of the Nürburgring's Nordschleife, renowned as the world's toughest track. For the first time, two of the main contenders would share the front row in race one. Championship leader Esteban Guerrieri pulses in Norbert Mikulec, the Hungarian grabbing the initiative right from the start. Behind them, a flat-out, slipstreaming battle for third developed between the Golf of Rob Huff and Mr. Girolami's Honda. Door-handle-to-door-handle stuff at more than 260 kilometres an hour with nothing between them. And eventually, the more aero-efficient Civic tipped the balance in favour of the Argentine driver. The Race 1 win went to Norbert Michaelis, his first of the year and his first on the fearsome Nordschleife. One of the most significant wins in Norby's career.
We did some improvements on the car, and I think this was the key to today's races, especially the start, and I'm incredibly happy for the team because as you could see, the car was just fantastic. Honestly, I was looking so much forward to this win because this was missing from my collection, so very, very happy about that.
Johan Kristoffersson was just as delighted in race 2. The double-ball rallycross champion had made a perfect start to take the lead, while teammate Rob Huff's race ended at the iconic carousel after a clash with Gabriele Tarquini. In just his 11th WTCR start, Kristoffersson showed his early career circuit racing lessons had not been forgotten as he claimed his first touring car win. The Lincoln Co. the Nürburgring really was a green hell. The 4 cars posting only one top 10 finish in the 3 races. And to compound their misery, Guerrieri was again strong in race 3, passed by Fredrik Verbisch for second, still claiming another podium finish. They say there's no such thing as a little accident on the Nordschleife, and so it proved again. Race 2 winner Johan Kristoffersson had a huge one, battling with Nicky Katzberg's Hyundai. Luckily, both drivers were more shaken than hurt. It was another reminder of why drivers respect this track perhaps more than any other. Out front, it was a dream race for Nordschleife specialist Benny Leuchter, charging to second. Unexpected win for Volkswagen on home soil. The first WTCR win for rookie Benny came on a track he knows intimately.
Yeah, it's difficult for me to describe. I'm always talking a lot, but at the moment I'm just out of control. It means so much to me. My whole life is connected to this track. So everything what I have today, I have to say thank you to this track because everything what I've done here. So, and this is just amazing to win a world touring car race against these unbelievable good drivers. And yeah, I'm just so happy.
Happy too, Esteban Guerrieri, who with a second, a sixth and a third increased his championship lead to 45 points. Surrounded by port wine vineyards, the streets of Vila in Portugal form a track with no margin for error. With an average lap speed of 140 kilometres an hour and top speeds over 250 as they shade the mountain barriers. Celebrating its 50th anniversary, this circuit is a real challenge. So for a third year in a row, a joker lap will be used to spice things up and help overtaking. Local hero Tiago Monteiro qualified strongly, grabbing a front row start for race 3. But Hyundai also showed pace, the second pole of the year for Norbert Michaelis. As Martin Quia almost stalled his Alfa for 5th on the grid, the Hungarian leapt into the lead at the first corner. Michaelis handled the joker lap perfectly, flying on to his second win of the year. Delight for Norby, the race brought disappointment for Tiago Monteiro, third after contact with Gabriele Tarquini. And disappointment too for Esteban Guerrieri, the Argentine scoring 0 points after mechanical failure. Bad news for the Honda driver, but good news for the Hungarian and the whole Hyundai team, especially Augusto Farfus, who claimed his second podium of the season. Hyundai's joy was not to last. Again, Esteban Guerrieri would score strongly, superbly managing the reverse grid race 2. After a poor start, the Honda driver would have to be satisfied with third, behind marching class Alfa and the CUPRA of sensational rookie Mikel Ascona. After 2 podiums, the young Spaniard claimed the first win of his World Touring Car career. It was also the first victory for his Swedish team, PWR Racing, and the first for a CUPRA all season long. 2018 TCR Europe champion was definitely a force to be reckoned with. Race 3 featured both KTM Hondas at the front. Racing for locals were celebrating. Esteban Guerrieri's hopes of a good score faded after heavy contact with Nicky Catsburg on the opening lap. Mechanical failure for race leader Attila Tashi meant a glorious return to the top step of the podium for his teammate Tiago Monteiro.
Yes! Yes! Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. I just can't believe it. Can't believe it! Ah! We made it! Yes, yes, yes. So many months of work. Thank you, KCRG. Thank you, Honda. Thank you for believing in me all the time. Thank you to my family.
Those 2 years after the huge testing crash that nearly ended his career, the Portuguese ace was once more a winner on the world stage, completing his long, long recovery. The emotion came flooding out.
It's Tiago Monteiro.
After 6 of the 10 rounds, Esteban Guerrieri held the lead from Norbert Nicholas, now only 25 points adrift, and rookie Mikel Ascona was still a remarkable 5th overall.
On my first year of World Championship WTCR, to be in the top position, it's unbelievable, no? I think the key is to be very constant. I mean, to don't have a lot of mistakes, a lot of crashes. So the key is to be constant and, of course, to be fast. I am very happy for the year we are doing. My team also, PWR, it's his first year in this championship. So it's really, really much better than the expectations we had at the beginning of the year.
After a 2-month break, the FIA WTCR World Touring Car Cup restarted in China. For the 3rd year running at the 4-kilometre Ningbo International Speed Park in Zhejiang Province, home turf for WTCR newcomers Lincoln Co. The team certainly rose to the occasion, all the drivers enjoying a strong weekend, especially Ivan Muller, and not only because of his 2 poles. On the Race 1 grid, fate would play a part.
Everything was ready, you know, like a driver you are focused on trying to picture the start and everything. I was about to take my gloves that they were falling in beside the seat there in the floor. And when I went with my hand there, apparently with my fist, I touched very unlucky, I touched the fire extinguisher button and it just activated. And yeah, all the foam of the extinguisher started to came out, and yeah, it was a surprise. Actually, the guys, after they saw my expression in my face, that I was really surprised. It's a bit of like a funny, but at the same time very unfortunate. You are forced to go back to the pits and to change your extinguisher because you are not allowed to go out and race without one. And I started from the pit lane there, but yeah, I mean, it was already all compromise from this little stupid mistake.
A mistake that would cost him here. First thing is IMOLA put in a perfect performance to take the lead and clinch his first win of the year, despite huge pressure from another local hero, Marcin Quia. Mikel Ascona again finished on the podium just ahead of Norbert Michelisz, the Hyundai driver just happy to close the gap on leader Guerrieri, while Muller, the French driver in a Chinese car, somehow managed to hold off Mar, the Chinese driver in an Italian car. It was Muller's first win of the year, marked a critical turning point for the 4-time world champion. He was not done yet. On the reverse grid for race 2, Muller's teammate Andy Prio was on pole, ideally placed to block the Hyundais of Nicholas and Gabriele Tarquini at the start. On the first lap, Esteban Guerrieri hit more trouble, pushed off the track and forced to retire. While out front, Prio kept the Hyundais at bay. The battle ending with heavy contact. Despite his damaged car and thanks to a gift from Tarquini, Norbert Michaelis claimed another win, but only 2 spots ahead of Muller, who charged from 10th on the grid to 3rd at the flag. The Frenchman hoping to achieve his main goal for the weekend, to reignite his title hopes, while his young Hungarian rival finally passed Guerrieri for the championship lead. Norby now needed a decent result in race 3, but it was not to be. While Muller kept the lead at the start, the battle raged behind. On the first lap, Fredrik Vervish pushed Mikulits into Andy Prio's car. It was Norby's 5th retirement of the year.
My target in race 3 wasn't really to push hard. It was just to collect some points. But these kind of things always happen. So I'm quite sure that for most of the people, for most of the title contenders, you can pick some moments of the season when they were not lucky in particular.
China was a disaster for Guerrieri, mechanical failure forcing him out of race 3, meaning a 0 score for the weekend. But Muller scored a 2nd win and a 3rd podium in a row, grabbing more points for the weekend than anyone else all season, 76 out of a maximum possible of 85.
At one stage in the season, you have some up and down, and at Ningbo, everything was perfect. So sometimes you have the performance and you don't score points, as it happened many times during the beginning of the season, and sometimes as Ningbo, everything goes well and you score a lot of points.
So many points, in fact, that the Frenchman was now 3rd in the title race, having 17 adrift of new leader Michaelis after Guerrieri's nightmare weekend.
A big mistake from my side was just racing incidents that put me out of the race, and yeah, just had to digest, to swallow, and the most important for me was to refocus and bounce back in the next event. Even you can have a bad weekend. We didn't have it until Ningbo, because I was scoring 1 podium consistently in every race event at least, and in that weekend it was 0 points. So yeah, it wasn't. It was quite a bit of a sour taste, to be honest.
The 8th race weekend saw the WTCR back in the country with the most incredible plans, Japan, and on the shorter east circuit of the legendary Suzuka track. To further spice things up, the weather played a role. Heavy rain throughout day 1, catching out a lot of drivers, including Ivar Muller, who crashed in turn 1. The following day, teammate Andy Prio found himself in those same barriers at the same spot, this time after contact with Nicky Katzberg. The Guernseyman was furious. Let his rival know exactly what he thought. The first win of the weekend went to Esteban Guerrieri, gifted by poleman and fellow Honda driver Thiago Montero, to push the Argentine back into the championship lead at Honda's home circuit, at least for a while. This time it was Norbert Michaelis who performed superbly in the reverse grid race 2, a win for himself in Japan, and to bounce back, taking the points lead. It was so close that whoever of the pair finished ahead of the other in race 3 would surely retake the advantage. And that fell to Esteban Guerrieri, again thanks to the helpful Thiago Montero. It was the perfect weekend to keep his title hopes alive after the Ningbo disaster. While the Chinese Lincoln Co's were on top form in China, the Hondas with a class act on home soil in Suzuka.
surprisingly for good. I was the most scoring driver in Japan. It meant a lot to me, to the team, to Honda, being locals there and with all the Japanese fans. Yeah, I think we maximize every outing, you know. After that weekend, I was really happy and proud of the job we did in that weekend. Yeah.
Good weekend too for Johan Kristoffersson, his second career WTCR win.
I think I've learned a lot this season. Maybe we didn't have the strongest package during the season, but I had very competitive and good teammates. So Rob has a lot of experience from the championship, so I learned a lot from him. So, I mean, conclusion of the season, I enjoy both of it very much. So the future, I don't know what it will bring, but for sure after a rookie season, when you are able to score a few podiums and a few victories and pole position, for sure we'd like to fight for the championship.
To be able to do that, you have to manage the highs and the lows.
I was happy in Japan because Esteban was doing a very strong race weekend, and I think there we could have ended up with a big point gap compared to him if I don't manage to win the race or to be on the podium in race 2. And because we managed to do that, for me this was one of the most crucial points in the season because we managed to stay in the hunt.
Every single point would be crucial at the end of the year. But before that, the drivers would have to tackle the quite demanding streets of Macau's Quia circuit. For the first time, the Vegas of the East would not be the season finale, but as ever, it would be absolutely critical in the nail-biting fight for the world title. Before the racing even began, Norman Mikulec saw his weekend ruined with a host of points thrown away after a crash with Gordon Shedden's Audi during an unnecessary qualifying run, which was already through to Q2.
I was very upset. I was, to be honest, also thinking in a negative way because I knew that Esteban made it to Q2. I also saw that Link & Co are very strong, so I realized that I'm in a bad position and most probably I will lose a lot of points in the races. But at that time I also realized there is nothing more I could do. So the incident happened. You have to live with it, and you have to live with it and to forget it quite fast.
Especially because Guerrieri was also in the wars in Macau. An engine change penalty meant he'd start race 1 last. At the sharp end of the field, IMOLA and second place Mikulec would like to take advantage of their rivals' problems, charging to the flag. Norby once again had the championship lead, while Advanced 53rd career win changed the balance of power in the
At that momentum, I took the third place of the championship. It has been done the decision in the team. Okay, the first target is to win the team title, and the second one is to try to win the driver title. And for that, at this point, we have to put all the effort on one. And the team did decide to put that on me.
That decision, despite Tedek's Hedberg still being very much in the title hunt, only 11 points behind the Frenchman. The effect was immediate. At the start of race 2, the Swede moved aside to let Ivan through, as Jan Erlache had done just beforehand. Rocketed away from the grid and soon through into the lead. The strategy resulted in a second win in a row for Ivan, tailed by Björk, Kevin Chacon and Esteban Guerrieri, still strongly with his never-say-die attitude. Mikulec, who started 12th, Muller's strong weekend was reigniting his title hopes. It could still be better with another strong finish in race 3, where Red Huff started from his 9th career. The Golds struggled to get away doing it paid to Huff's chances of win number 10. However, his fellow Rick and took up the front running in the first year. Made a stunning start, but found himself rammed up behind Nicky Katzberg's strong round. To help teammate Mikulec, the Dutchman's role was to prevent Muller scoring strongly. Sepang would remain bottled up in 6th all race long. Andy Priaulx claimed his first World Touring Car win since September 2010, his first in Macau in 11 years after a decade away, just ahead of Huff and Jean-Carl Vernet, while Muller finished 6th, Guerrieri 10th and Mikulicz 12th. So with only the season finale remaining, Norby topped the standings, Guerrieri finished 11 points, separating the top 3, and Ted Young was Lincoln chauffeur. World Touring Car Cup's grand finale was memorable not just for the fact that the WTCR cars and drivers visited Sepang in Malaysia for the very first time, but also for their second weekend sharing the track on the FIM EWC motorcycle endurance races. After a quick trip to the downtown streets of Kuala Lumpur, all 3 touring car races were condensed into a single day, guaranteeing a nail-biting climax. Lincoln Co's duo, Ivar Muller and Ted Björk, leisurely found their championship hopes fading as the balance of performance swung against them following their perfect weekend in Macau. None of the 14 cars reached the top 12 in qualifying. Rivals Hyundai proved fastest on the blazing track. Norbert Mikulicz started race 1 from pole, Aurelian Panis, Nesta Girolami and Michele Scona, with closest rival Esteban Guerrieri in 10th. Norby made no mistakes, claiming his 5th win of the season. Guerrieri crossing the line a strong 4th, while Muller, despite another fighting performance, would finish only 8th. Mikulicz extended the championship lead to 27 points, with only 50 left of the season. Planets seemed to align perfectly for the Hungarian, but fate, and more particularly the weather, still had a part to play, throwing race 2 wide open. Esteban Guerrieri starting from 9th on the grid, just ahead of Mikulicz. The tricky conditions changed the game totally. A gamble on tyres allowed the Honda driver to make a stunning start to claim 2nd place after just 4 soggy corners. His efforts were all for naught though. The race was stopped before the end of the first lap after Nicky Katzberg had a massive crash with Ivar Muller, who'd also made a perfect start thanks to gambling on tyres. Things went from bad to worse for Katzberg, whose car was soon ablaze, causing a red flag delay of more than an hour. Night had fallen by the time Guerrieri took his 4th win of the year in the restarting race 2. Teammate Nesta Girolami got in pass. Thanks to his win, Norby finished 8th. Esteban now made just 10 points adrift. And it was a 2-horse race. Muller and Björk were out of the reckoning. With Sign Racing, Lincoln Co had a near unassailable lead in the team's title race. 1 race remained to decide the title, and the drama was racked up still further on the starting grid as the Hyundai crew discovered a transmission issue on Pullman Mikulicz's i30, an issue that proved impossible to properly fix despite frantic efforts. Was it all going to slip away? At the start, Norby was powerless to counter rival Guerrieri's perfect getaway. The Honda driver immediately seized the lead, followed through by the CUPRA and Michele Scona. Norby was down to 3rd. The young Spaniard was flying and was soon attacking Guerrieri, but Esteban knew he needed to win to have a hope of claiming the title and clung on. Contact forcing the Honda onto the wet grass. Esteban regained control, but there was disaster awaiting. Within a few corners, he saw his engine temperature soar. Grass was blocking the front air intake of the Honda. The dash lit up like a Christmas tree as the engine went into limp home mode. Guerrieri's hopes evaporated as he dropped down the field. A stop to clear the intakes left him much too far back to challenge despite setting the fastest race lap. The battle for the lead intensified as Scona was caught by fellow rookie Johan Kristoffersson, the Swede pulling off one of the moves of the year to grab the lead in the final race at the hairpin. Kristoffersson raced on to his 3rd win and also the rookie title, as the Scona second at the flag would be penalised post-race for his clash with Guerrieri. Norbert Mikulicz finished 5th to Guerrieri's 22nd to take the 2nd ever WTCR title, succeeding teammate Daniel Tarquini. crazy year and a roller coaster of emotions at the season finale. It was an amazing achievement for one of the nicest guys in the paddock. In 11 years, Norby has gone from the veteran gamer to world.
Incredible, to be honest. I don't know what to say, because it was such a tricky day today with all the 3 races, with the conditions. But in the end, what matters is that we did it. So, of course, this goes to all the team, all my family, and all my friends and Hungarian fans who supported me in the last bit more than 10 years. So, very, very grateful to you all.
Gabriele Tarquini won the first WTCR title with Hyundai, and now teammate Norbert Michelisz claims the second. A remarkable achievement by the Hyundai team. Despite the disappointment of the final race, Esteban Guerrieri can be truly proud of his season. He battled with everything he and the Munich Motorsport Hobby team could muster until the very last moment of the title race. Though he missed out in 2019, he will undoubtedly be back to try again.
You have plenty of opportunities, but yeah. I was on you. Sorry about it.
I just enjoy driving from my first lap of the year to my last lap, which was my fastest lap. So I wasn't, of course I knew that I wasn't in the championship leading anymore, but I still wanted to enjoy driving the car, that's what I love in life, driving to the limit.
Mexico do not go away empty-handed. Changing the team's title in their first season.
Lincoln, we won the championship the first year with the Chinese brand. It's fantastic, and I'm so proud to be a part of it.